So healthcare is the U.S.'s largest industry. It's approaching $3 trillion, is expected to be over 20% of the GDP by 2018. By the mid-20s is expected to be up to as high as 25% of the GDP. It's not sustainable in its current form. And we talked earlier about the new role of the employers shifting to self-insured and how important telehealth is becoming as part of that solution as the consumer takes on a much bigger role in their own health. But talk a little bit about the hospital systems and what's going on there, because hospitals are consolidating. Many haven't been profitable, so they're being either going out of business or they're being consolidated into more profitable hospital systems. And you are now building out the MDLIVE network to include leading hospitals across the country. And why is that turning out to be such an important strategic move for you at this time?
To answer the question on the hospital and health systems perspective, they've identified that because of accountable care, they're going to have to treat many more patients, but at the same time their reimbursement rates are going to be cut in half. And so their desire to look at new forms of revenue is become critical from their perspective. From our perspective, although technology is important, we know that there are many great technology companies out there that can provide technology and these different highways to get to the actual consumer or patient. But it is the providers that are going to be providing these services at scale to create the right outcome. And so we become a gatekeeper in some ways so that the consumer can access that level of health system engagement so that we can make sure that they're treated appropriately through these partnerships that we built across the country. It is also, people want to do telehealth. We're trying to change adoption. Consumers today, and one of our biggest challenges has been getting consumers comfortable that they could log on with their mobile devices, see a doctor through that device, and making sure that they were going to get the highest quality of care. By partnering with these health systems across the country, we have the trust for them to know that whether they're virtually connecting as an MDLIVE member or physically, the care delivery is of the highest standard. It also, as adoption expands and the inflection point hits, similar to online banking, you have to be able to have the scale of having enough providers to absolutely accomplish that. There's a big shortage of primary care physicians in the US, but just the technology itself will not add more providers. The technology to allow those providers to be more efficient is what's going to help us to scale. Also leveraging other types of providers that can use our system, like nurse practitioners across the country, and pharmacists also give us an expanded network. Another important factor are the retired providers and physicians who are still board certified and were the ones that did the original house calls that create phenomenal customer experiences that are now engaging off of our systems to also be able to provide that service.